back at the Sisu studio for the Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2016. I'm here with Statman.
Hello.
And we're also here with Apex Rex.
We're glad to have him here.
Absolutely. So this is what the guys are going to be competing for here today. And we've just seen a huge game from Team USA on track 1.
Well, amusingly, my favorite statistic from this game, USA has given up 15 points total in the group stage. Argentina scored triple that amount.
Yeah.
One Argentina jammer is responsible individually for more points than any other single team, and it's not El Pibe. He's got more still.
Wow.
Not even the highest scoring jammer.
Incredible. I mean, we're going to see more of this moving forward from Team USA. I mean, that was a huge game for them, but it was really well fought as well from the Argentinian team. Incredible. We also had a win over on track 2. Team Australia winning with quite a significant margin from Team Wales, but Team Wales put up an incredible fight.
Team Wales were playing incredibly tough, like we know they like to play, put up a great fight, and I think it's a testament to how good they are that they were able to hold that Australia line.
Absolutely. So we're going to have Team Japan taking on Team Netherlands over on track number 1 now. So we're going to hand over to the guys over there. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever and whenever you are, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. Welcome to day 3 of the Men's Roller Derby World Cup here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I am Snoogans, and I'm here with
Pink's Lemonade.
And we are very nearly ready to get on with our next game of the day here between the Netherlands and Japan. I don't know about you, Pink, but I am excited.
I am really excited, and you know, Japan, especially a fan favorite at this tournament this weekend, yet to cinch a win.
Yes.
And the Netherlands also, you know, these are the 5th in their grouping, so both of these teams looking for a win. Both of these teams with a strong fan showing right now in the crowd, so I think it's going to be a real exciting game.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely incredible. Here with our producer, Derby Nerd, give the folks a wave at home. Just before this one, I was over on track 2, our Sisu track, watching Australia take a convincing win over Wales. And here, just before we got started, we saw USA take an even more convincing win over Argentina. But Argentina scored, putting 45 points on the board. And even if we take into account the differential for half-hour games to the full-hour games, Argentina has still scored more than every other team that's played USA collectively to date in this tournament.
Yeah, I think the group stage exposed a lot of runaway favorites, and we're going to throw to the house right now for the national anthems.
Japan. If you remain standing, thank you. And now the national anthem for the Netherlands.
And those were the anthems for the nations of Japan and the Netherlands. And we are 3 minutes to whistle here on the Nerd Skates track for game 47 of the 2016 Men's Roller Derby World Cup.
47 already?
Yep.
That's... Go for it.
I was just saying, going to the break there for the anthems, both these teams without a win. Now that we're done with the group stage, we're seeing people with a little bit closer matchups now in these consolation brackets. So just because we're not gunning for a medal anymore doesn't mean this isn't a very significant game for both these teams.
Oh, absolutely. Japan, obviously, this is their second World Cup. Same for Netherlands. They're wanting to get their placement and their seedings and thinking ahead to the next World Cup. There's still, even at this sort of slightly lower stage, there's still so much to play for in terms of placement.
Absolutely. All right, we're
Snoogans and Pink Slamonade.
Yes, we are. So far this morning, we've seen Canada take on France. That was the 9 a.m. game here on the Nerd Track. USA versus Argentina, like you were mentioning before, an absolutely stunning showing by Argentina. Over on the Sisu Mouthguard track, England versus Finland, a decisive victory there, of course, and then Australia versus Wales with another win there. So we're having our gold medal bracket thinning out this morning and taking a little break from that with our consolation bracket here.
Things are definitely leveling out, and we are starting to see how things are going to progress. We are starting to get our 4 teams coming through to the final. How are things looking for the rest of the day, Pink?
So the rest of the day, we're going to have Scotland and Belgium next on this track. But just for some context for this game, this winner of this game is going to go on to the 17th place game. And they're going to be playing against the winner of the Chile-Spain game, which is going to be happening 15 minutes from now over on the Sisu track. But I don't know. If I were you, I would stay right here.
I would stay here.
I'm going to stay here.
I'm staying here.
All right, good. Don't leave me here, because this is going to be an exciting game. Of course, for later on this evening, England-Canada, that's going to be at 5 p.m. Mountain Daylight Savings Time, followed by USA-Australia at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Finland v. France, the losers of this morning's games, going to be playing, of course, on the Sisu track at 5:15, and Argentina-Wales at 7:15 on the Sisu track.
I'm quite glad that I'm here.
Yes.
And I have the potential to kind of switch between tracks. If I was sat at home, I don't know which game out of those that I would go for.
Yeah.
But they're all going to be incredible
And the
games.
regulation games give us a chance for halftime sneaky peeks.
Yes. Okay, it looks like we are mere seconds away from getting this game started. First up to jam for Japan, it is U2, and he will be facing off against, I believe that's number 52, that's Upila. Some strong defensive balls from both teams, seeing the development that we've got throughout this tournament. Upila being recycled back past that jammer line, while U2 is your foremost jammer. And picks up lead jammer. Strong start for Japan.
Coming around the track now, U2 looking to score a big hit on the inside of the turn. It's a track cut penalty being assessed against U2 from Team Japan, which is going to be a roller derby athletics power jam for Team Netherlands.
So Upila going with the star stash to make his way through the pack. So he has made his initial, and Netherlands are now on a scoring pass.
See a cube formation being attempted in the front here. Actually, more of a triangle with support. Big hit out on the outside of turn 4. A bit of a rattler for the Netherlands jammer.
Upila opting to go for the star stash to captain Johnny B. Rude. Star pass, sorry. Johnny B. Rude finding that inside line, wide open, racing down it, and picking up that Grand Slam pass of 5 points.
Yeah, so Japan on a power kill situation, but looking somewhat in the driver's seat, forcing that pass in a scoring pass.
Meanwhile, U2 back on track for Japan, having served his time. Obviously, he'd already made his initial pass, so that was a scoring pass. Both teams on 5 points and scoring at the moment.
Yeah, 20 seconds counting down. It remains to be seen who's going to come out ahead at the end of this jam.
Johnny B. Rude through for another scoring pass. 4 points this time round.
Big upper body juke here from U2, but he's brought to the outside of the turn, recycled by Netherlands.
Upila stopping him straight in that pack. 4 points on that pass for Japan, which means just a couple of minutes in, we've got a tied game already. I had a feeling this game was going to be close, and it certainly looks like they're not disappointing us.
Absolutely. So, and this is an opportunity for these teams to sort of show what they've got, and especially quite the training over the last 2 days with the competition they've had. Absolutely.
So it looks like we're going to start with a blocker advantage to Netherlands. Misconduct being issued towards the end of that jam.
Likely for that late contact.
Yes, that was rather late. But it's not making too much of a difference to Japan. They're picking up lead jammer. That is number 2, Kabuki Mono. I do apologize in advance if I mispronounce any of these names. I will endeavor to do my best.
We've been studying hard, but it's a lot of people here.
It's a lot of people. Kabuki Mono on that inside line, managing to take the apex, picking up a grand slam pass.
Really nice little jump there from Kabuki Mono. Penalty to Bubble is going to send him to the penalty box. He's a big part of the Japanese defense, and just as we say that, Dutch jammer being released from the pack.
Yeah, Johnny B. Good made his way for his initial. Kabuki Mono makes his pass, signaled from his bench to call it off. He does. So that's going to be Japan taking the lead with another 9 points in that jam. 18 plays 9, 26.5 minutes remaining of this first half.
If I'm not mistaken, that's the first time Japan's been in the lead this weekend.
I think you might be right.
So it must be a good feeling.
It's got to be a pretty incredible feeling. Of course, if you are just joining us, folks, we are now into the seeding stages. These are full hour games with MRDA rule sets. So this is our first half as opposed to the full 30-minute game that we've had the last few days.
Absolutely. A run to the inside by the Japanese jammer, number 3. Harakiri recycled to the back, and lead is going to the Netherlands.
That is Nicholas Rage. Had a brilliant weekend so far. Rage already coming around, sizing up that pack to make his initial. Harikira making his initial pass. Those points and the control lie with Nicholas Rage, and he pulls off the jam.
Yeah, talking about fan favorites, Nicholas Rage has really been a fan favorite this weekend, and not just because he stole the Declaration of Independence. If you've got a favorite, you can help pick your favorite by going to the Men's Roller Derby World Cup Facebook page and voting for the Quad Skates fan favorite for our MVP team. At the end of the weekend, we're going to be picking the top skaters from each team. One of them is going to be chosen by you, so make sure you vote before the end of today, because it closes tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Last check, I think we'd already had over 700 votes.
Absolutely fantastic.
Back on with the action, we've got U2 and Lone Star jamming for Japan and Netherlands respectively, and that's U2 makes his way out to pick up lead. Multiplayer block being issued on 585 Johnny B. Rude. So that's a little bit less defense that Netherlands have got on board right now.
Lone Star sort of stumbling over the Japanese blockers as they fall. With a no pass, no penalty, he finally completes his initial pass.
Halogen at the moment, as I'm about to say, is the only Netherlands blocker on track. A flood of teammates join him.
Sort of a cannonball move by Japan, throwing number 8, Naruto, into the Dutch jammer as he came up. Sort of takes a tumble, able to shut that down. 9-0 jam in favor of Japan. They're scored 28-13 right now.
Okay, back up on the jammer line, we have Upila and
Kabuki Mono.
Thank you,
number
good
2,
spot.
yes.
Pack advantage laying with Japan right now. 4 blockers plays 3. Massive hit from number 83, Nicholas Rage. And that is going to result in a cut track penalty being issued to Kabuki Mono. So this is now a Roller Derby Athletics sponsored power jam in favor of the Netherlands.
Yeah, an absolutely very hot start for Upila. And I mean, true to his name, just ending up with a pile of Japanese blockers in front of him, giving him sort of the chaos he needed.
High block being issued to number 9, Honey Badger. So that's going to be one less blocker for Yupala to contend with as he comes around, goes for the apex jump, unsure if he's landed it, so sets himself back.
Yep. Bit of a goat at the back. Bob goated in that last pass by the Netherlands. They are just keeping Japan away from each other, knowing that they're so much stronger together.
Yeah, it's a tactic we've seen from a number of teams across the weekend, really separating those blockers to make them as ineffective as possible.
And, you know, their strength together owing somewhat to the fact that this is Japan's only men's roller derby team. They are all coming from roller derby team Japan. It's not a diaspora of far-flung skaters like we've seen in some of these countries. These guys have been teammates for, you know, a long, long time.
So 9-point jam there. 22 plays 28 in favor of Japan.
Pivot lines start right now.
Heresy and Witchcraft, we sometimes refer to it as in the UK.
Yeah. Harakiri facing off against Anita on your Nerd Skate start line.
And pretty much as you say that, Harakiri passes to Maega Bondai, star pass straight off the line.
Anita with the apex attempt shut down by Harakiri on the inside. Really well-timed contact there. Brown Paper Tickets has been supporting roller derby for over a decade. They love this sport and are working to help gear up the Women's League in Lebanon. You can make a difference for roller derby Beirut by visiting their donation page at Got Game Need Gear at brownpapertickets.com.
So that's going to be Lone Star up to jam for the Netherlands on this one, and that's number 1, U2 jamming for Japan. Dare I mention it, I've started, so I'll finish. I was going to say empty penalty box to start the jam. That's happened to me too many times this weekend.
And we jinxed it, the announcer jinxed.
I do believe a low block being issued. I believe, I could be wrong.
And another, I think, a high block for a Dutch jammer. I see another multiplayer also being signaled.
It would appear that that they've got their penalty bingo cards.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get a full house. 3 blockers now on their way or in the box for Japan.
Yeah, House of the Rising penalties right now as they hemorrhage blockers into that penalty box. Number 29 on his own out there. That's Bob.
Number 6 sent back to join him. Obviously, Chuck Breaker, full penalty box means you got to wait. But that's Bob. Has also now been sent to the box, so I believe that makes every single Japanese blocker on track will be at the box at some point in this jam.
You know what? It's those classic manners, taking turns.
Yes. Meanwhile, Lone Star is having a brilliant jam. He's now racked up 15 points so far in this jam, so that does mean we've had ourselves a lead change.
Big recycle as the Japanese jammer and pivot brought to the back of turn 3. Out of play penalty being assessed for number 666 of the Netherlands. That's nocturnal damage. Can see a bit of that slow slog showing on U2's face. A little bit of a limp as he returns to the bench. That was a frustrating jam for Japan. And like you said, lead change in favor of the Netherlands, 42-28.
20-point jam, that is exactly what the Netherlands were looking for. Still not a massive lead.
No.
And as I say, we're just over 10 minutes into this first half.
Absolutely. Japan has been scoreless for the last 4 jams, though, so they're going to turn this momentum around.
Yupala and Kabukimono jamming now. Yupala taken off. Before he got to that nerd-sponsored pivot line.
Pack lengthening to the back. Japan now with a full contingent of blockers, thank goodness, but without their jammer. Oh, no.
It was
multiplayer for the Dutch blocker, my mistake, and a high block as well. I have a feeling that's not the last high block we're going to see in a contest like this. The Dutch famous for their height, the Japanese not so much.
Kabukimono really powering through, managing to rack up a little bit of pointage so far.
One-on-one blocking in the front here from nocturnal damage, but Kabukimono has completed his initial pass.
Yeah, Yupala had been stuck in the pack until that last pass. made it through ahead of Kabukimono. Kabukimono saw him coming, he picked up 10 points, caused the jam, so we're now just back to a 4-point differential.
The Men's Roller Derby Association is excited to announce
Looks like we've got ourselves our first team time out of the day from Japan, and this one's brought to you by our sponsors, Quad Skate Shop.
I can't imagine that I'd get more kicks playing golf than I do hitting a and this one is part of my uniform.
A clear path through the pack almost never exists. So we fight and make our own.
And we are back. Thank you very much to our sponsors, Quad Skate Shop and Sisu. Sisu, of course, sponsoring our second track over in the other hall, who is currently enjoying some equally awesome action that we are here.
Yes, he's the official mouth guard of the Men's Roller Derby World Cup. So giving everyone that big photogenic smile as they do. All right, at the conclusion of that timeout, we have Anita on your Nerd Skate start line, jamming for the Netherlands up against number 3 Harakiri for Team Japan.
5-second call goes up. Pack advantage to Japan. 4 blockers plays 2. Anita playing a little bit of the 5th blocker defense there at the back of the pack. Unable to hold on to Harakiri though. He makes his way out for a lead jammer status.
Yep.
Anita, however, dropping the shoulder as he comes around the outside line to make a very speedy initial pass.
Yeah, despite not cinching lead, a smart move when so many players are in the box.
Harakiri managing to pick up 3 points, 3 unanswered points, calling that jam before Anita made his way to the pack, meaning that with 17.5 minutes to go our first half, this is now a 1-point game.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear the ambient noise from the crowd as that score gets tied, but now the Netherlands have been held scoreless for 3. So you're seeing these back and forth momentum shifts from these two teams.
Jam is on U2 and Nicholas Rage. Your jammers on this one. U2 finding a quick spot in the center of the pack to make his way out. Nicholas Rage taking a tumble, but helped up and through by his blockers, so he's now chasing him down.
Oh, U2 brought to the floor on the inside of the apex, and it looks like a back block penalty for the Dutch jammer just as that jam comes to a close. We're going to have a Roller Derby Athletics Power Jam start for Team Japan, who have now, I think, pulled into the lead with 45-42. That's right.
Yep, lead change. You know what to do.
We're not going to say it.
No.
Remember your training. So Kabukimono is your jammer of record for this Roller Derby Athletics Power Jam start. The Netherlands backing off the line with a triad formation. Japan laying in wait, surveying the situation. And it looks just like passive offense there. They had no intention of busting open that wall, but they didn't need to. Lead jammer goes to Japan.
Blocker coming back on track. The Netherlands went straight into the back of one of the Japanese blockers, picks himself up another back block, or a back block penalty. Captain Borderline heading back to the box.
This is the 4th lead jammer status for Team Japan. A bit of a misstep by Kabukimono calling the jam. You can see the expression on his face, calling the jam as the Netherlands blocker left the box, not realizing he had a completely other pass to take advantage of that situation. But again, on a lead streak, perhaps Japan can keep it up in this next jam.
As we move on with this next jam, we've got number 3, Harakiri, jamming for Japan, and that's the familiar back of number 52, Upila, jamming for Netherlands. The Netherlands now with a strong wall up front. Upila taking that outside, picking up lead jammer for the Netherlands for the first time in 5 jams.
5 jams, that's right. Kabukimono with a little skip on the inside of the curve. He is chasing down Upila, and the pack begins to race.
Big hits, taking blockers off all over the shop. Upila with some nice footwork, nearly taking that inside line. but it is going to cost him a cut track penalty, meaning we've had a change of favour, and this is going to be a Roller Derby Athletics sponsored Power Jam for Japan.
So Roller Derby Athletic, Team Japan really coming out lucky in that the first lead they've lost in 5 is going to be a Power Jam for them, and Team Netherlands losing 2 blockers to the penalty box.
Yeah,
puts Japan in a great situation here.
I believe that was an out of play and a high block being issued to separate blockers, making things incredibly easy for Harikira to make his way on the inside. All 4 of his blockers able to perform offense there and just kind of shake up those 2 Netherlands blockers.
Yeah, the crowd is screaming their delight at this change in fortune for Team Japan. Another 5-point grand slam as Upiler returns and jumps the entire apex. 4-point pickup for Team Netherlands there.
I'm really glad you mentioned he was there because I had no idea.
Yeah,
I totally missed him leaving the box.
Like a shadow. A low block penalty being given to one of the Japanese blockers. That's number 7, Umesan, heading to the box.
So both jammers now out, both scoring.
Takeout to the inside by number 32 is going to take out a couple of refs for the bargain. Hit to the inside against Harakiri.
Upiler knocked off on the outside, not managing to pick up anything on that pass. Harakiri picking up 3 as the jam came to an end, and that was a huge jam for Japan.
Yeah.
22-point jam. Scores now sitting 50 to the Netherlands, 72 to Japan. Just under 13 minutes remaining.
But what a weekend highlight for Upiler. I don't think I've ever seen an apex jump that far. Much farther than he probably needed to, but he looked good doing it.
Oh,
so
absolutely. I mean, we've had a lot of the smaller sort of skips and jumps over the apex, and not necessarily some huge apex jumps.
All right, let's throw to our sponsor for this team timeout.
And welcome back. You've got Snoogans and Pink Slamonade here on your feed, coming in and around your telebox at home. We've got 12 minutes 50 on the clock, 50 points to the Netherlands, 72 to Japan.
Of course, that quick sponsor throw brought to you by Quad Skate Shop, Europe's original brick and mortar roller derby skate shop. They the best selection and most stock of the continent. They don't skate, so you don't have to, and their customer service is the best on the level only fellow skaters could provide. Timeout, well-timed with that huge run by Japan just now. 22-point jam.
I'm, in all honesty, I'm still marveling at that apex jump from Upiler.
Yeah, absolutely show-stopping move there. And this is, again, where we see these teams with a bit of a closer skill match be able to really show their stuff.
So up now, we've got Anita and U2, both of them getting right stuck into this sort of scrum style pack that we've got. And as I say, right stuck in, Anita takes the outside line, racing around, picks up lead, but U2 is not too far behind him.
Yeah, U2 has escaped, and looks like Japan is just trying to keep the front and run away from that Netherlands offense. Physics catching up to Japan on the outside of turn 4, and that's no points picked up by the Netherlands. The Men's Roller Derby Association is excited to announce that its 2016 championships will be held in Texas. The Lone Star Showdown will be held at the NYTEX Sports Center in beautiful North Richland Hills, Texas on October 15th to 16th, and will be held by Texas Men's Roller Derby. This 2-day single track event will feature the top 10 ranked MRDA teams as determined by the MRDA. Visit champs.mrda.org for more information.
Looking forward to that as well.
I can.
Okay, back on with the action. Kabuki Mono, your jammer Japan, coming out on that outside line, picking up lead jammer. Upiler taken off, set back round past that Nerd Skate Shop sponsored jammer line. Seems that a lot of our jammers in this game are favoring that outside line.
I think when the blockers are a little bit slower on the draw, that outside of the turn becomes very attractive as a jammer. And if you are one of those quick-footed jammers who can just dig into that curve, like our friend here, U2, or sorry, Harakiri, Kabukimono.
I think we basically just run through the whole jam up.
They're all tied for my favorite. That's the problem.
So another 9-point jam there for Japan. 81 plays 50. Tell you what, I'm feeling awfully warm here. I hate to think how these guys are feeling on track.
Yes.
We're just sitting here. And
Yeah, that Calgary summer is starting to really catch up with us. I don't know if the building is holding the heat or it's just getting warmer every day, but that's how it feels here. Maybe it's the heat of these rabid fans.
Very possible, very possible.
A forearm penalty is going to send the Team Japan jammer to the penalty box. He's shaking his head. Of course, that's number 1242, Pork Chop Express.
Looks like we have a stashed start right now, stashing it to make his way through, so we'll have no lead jam for this jam, but that is number 37, Lone Star, making his initial on what is now a Roller Derby Athletics sponsored power jam for the Netherlands.
So it'll remain to be seen who can take the most advantage of this 2-minute jam, because I think we're going to see a lot of point-for-point scoring. It's already a fairly high-scoring game as we come into halftime.
That's a Grand Slam pass there for Lone Star. And Pork Chop Express back on track, throwing himself bodily into Slapsack.
This is the first time we've seen Pork Chop Express this game, and it looks like he's trying to take advantage of the Dutch blockers not understanding, not knowing his style as well. But he also tried to take advantage of leaving the track and re-entering illegally, so that's going to be a track cut penalty and a second Roller Derby Athletics power jam in favor of the Netherlands.
Netherlands losing another blocker of their own, 3-1-4-1 Mastermind, picking up, I believe that was a cut track penalty as well. Multiplayer, my mistake. Thank you, Pink.
No, sorry, it's a multiplayer to number 9, the blocker who's just left, which is not good for Japan as they fend off this second power kill of the jam. Another multiplayer for the Japanese, 2 Japanese blockers.
Miscommunication, I do believe.
Yeah.
However, on track, we have single blocker Honey Badger doing a stellar job of holding back Lone Star on his own.
And late direction of gameplay at the conclusion of that jam. But yeah, we spoke before about how the Japanese players have such good teamwork. They're used to each other. They work well together, but getting a little too friendly with those multiplayers, sending them to the box. So hopefully they can adjust their style. Less clutching.
More leaning.
More leaning, exactly. 4-2 pack advantage in favor of the Netherlands at the start of this jam.
Nice takeoff on the outside by Umasan. Resetting, I do believe that's Nicholas Rage for the Netherlands. Nicholas Rage trying to run along that outside line, picking himself up a cut track penalty. He'll be followed to the box by one of his blockers, 585. Captain Johnny B. Rude, which means Japan are now on another one of those Roller Derby Athletics sponsored power jams. Yeah,
U2 only with 2 Dutch blockers to contend with and learns a little from the last jam, challenges that multi-link and just busts through. This is Japan's 4th power jam of the game. 2-on-2 pack here at, well, turn 3 and 4 really. Barely a pack if you can call it that. Take out to the outside, and it's a forearm penalty going to U2 from Team Japan, which means another Roller Derby Athletics power jam.
Yeah, we're not quite a jammer switcheroo, as I like to call them, with Nicholas Rage already being on his way out of the box as U2 headed there. So this will be, chance permitting, a full 30-second Roller Derby Athletics sponsored power jam for Nicholas Rage, an opportunity to try and close that gap down a bit. 26-point lead that Japan are currently leading. Make that 21.
Just a little leap over the defense on the inside of that apex, and Nicholas Rage favoring a lot of spin, but he's got the stability to back it up.
Nicholas Rage, that I believe he thought that the blocker that went to take him out on that turn 1 had gone out himself. He jumped back on track. It turned out that that was a cut track penalty. So with U2 back on track, we've had another jammer switch. And we'll continue this Roller Derby Athletics sponsored power jam, but this now in favor of Japan.
U2 attempting the call off, but forgot that he just went to the box He cannot call off the jam, but it reaches its natural conclusion. Yeah, I watched Nicholas Rage look in towards the Team Japan, Ninja Pan jammer who fell, and you never know who else has snuck back in the meantime.
And it looks like we're going to have ourselves an official review.
Perhaps trying to get Nicholas Rage out of the box based on that no pass, no penalty. So it'll remain to be seen what the refs saw and what the refs remember from that incident. Team and tournament merch are available here and online. What's the point of coming to a tournament without great roller derby t-shirt to take home? Enhance your collection with merch from some of these teams and be sure to pick up the official Calgary 2016 shirt. And also our official hashtag of the weekend is #Calgary 2016.
So our referees are, as you can see, they're all lent in here, listening to the query from the Netherlands bench. As soon as we have information on that, we will of course throw to our in-house mic, to our head referee, who I believe for this game is Righteous Oxide.
I love that name.
Brilliant.
Oh, fantastic.
And he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, well, he's righteous.
Righteous.
Yeah, half the fun of coming to these tournaments is just the absolutely stellar roller derby names. Slapsack, who you see lined up with the 1337 number, his name is just the Dutch translation of sleeping bag.
Yeah, somebody told me that yesterday. I was
Yeah.
like, you kind of get the feeling that maybe some jokes don't translate particularly well.
It's possible. It's possible. I mean, in Team Japan, we have Bob, just in capital letters, just Bob.
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 Maybe it's his favorite name.
I believe one of our NSOs here this weekend also called Bob. I kind of want to get a photo of Japanese Bob, NSO Bob, and our very own Bob Notches.
That would be perfect.
A trio of Bobs.
Getting a little track repair here from our fearless volunteers. Such a huge volunteer presence here in Calgary.
Incredible.
We have a huge NSO crew. We have a huge officiating crew. Everyone here to just keep this tournament rolling.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to make an assumption that people are on Facebook. We had a beautiful officials photo taken yesterday evening by one of our crew, G.I. Jones. You'll know him as, he can see him on track at the moment in the spangly pants.
Yes.
He's doing photography for Team Japan, made a real connection with them back in 2014 at the Men's World Cup. But yeah, it's a brilliant photo and it really shows you the size.
Was contesting a cut track call stands. They have used their official review.
So like we were speculating, it was for the alleged no pass, no penalty, which the referee crew has held up as a track cut call. So that means that Nicholas Rage is going to start this next jam in the box, and Japan is going to enjoy another roller derby athletics power jam.
And that's Kabukimono number 2 for Japan is going to be starting with that star.
And the pivot for Team Netherlands can't quite catch his number, starting a very old school pivot line start with the toe on the line, forcing everyone behind his hips. A really obscure MRDA rule.
Yeah, that's old school. That's really
That's
old
real
school.
old school. Not to much avail, of course, as we see Kabukimono as your lead jammer.
Kabukimono now on his scoring pass, taking that sliver of space along the inside, up on his toe stops to make a grand slam pass. That pushing Japan over that first century, 101-65 mid-jam.
Japan trying a little more active offense now to some effect here as we see another 5-point grand slam go on the board for Team Japan, really widening this lead now. It's so great to watch these teams develop over the course of the weekend and to learn things they didn't know before. Something Kabukimono doesn't know is to not backlook, because he's going to head to the box for that.
That was a textbook backlook.
Yeah.
Really took Anita off his skates there. So switching out Roller Derby Athletics sponsored Power Jam now in favor of the Netherlands. Nicholas Rage back on track and making very quick work of that pack.
Yeah, if the Netherlands wanted anyone on the track for a power jam, it would be Nicholas Rage for sure.
Absolutely. He's proved to be an incredibly strong jammer for the Netherlands. A really good combination of speed and size and power.
The Netherlands goading number 32, Ikage Soyoro, and we have another penalty for Nicholas Rage, going to send him to the box. That's a forearm. That means we've had 7 power jams in the last 3 jams. Wow. absolutely wild, dramatic play here in turns 3 and 4.
I think it's fair to say that and that's going to be another.
That's number 8. That's number 8. Track out penalty for Kabuki Mono means that both jammers are in the penalty box at the conclusion of this jam.
So if my rules knowledge serves me well, it usually does. As we can see, the penalty box manager has, well, as we can see, penalty box manager has got Nicholas Rage to stand. I believe he will be released as soon as the first whistle goes, and of course our Japanese jammer will serve the same amount of time that Nicholas Rage has already served.
Yeah, Kabuki Mono gesturing a quiet apology to his bench as he heads back to the penalty box. So Nicholas Rage, while he's being kept out, honestly not going to be a detriment for Team Netherlands. He is your lead jammer.
40 points in it at the moment, just over 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining of this first half. Nicholas Rage already round on a scoring pass. Big hit, tumble there on turn 3. Rage taken off and set back, and that's a forearms penalty being assessed to number 6.
Only 2 Japanese defenders in the front. That's not enough to hold back Nicholas Rage, who completes a scoring pass for the Netherlands.
Number 2, Kabuki Mono back on track, having served his penalty time, taking a huge hit on the outside there.
I just saw a waitress whip given to Nicholas Rage. Talk about old school.
Netherlands are bringing it back.
Yeah.
They're bringing back the pivot line starts. They're bringing back the pivot toe stop starts. They're bringing back waitress whips. It would seem that we've been transported back to 2009, 2010.
Yeah, this is our vintage roller derby showcase right now. Bringing back all your old favorites.
Do you think we might see a knee start?
Oh my goodness. What about a poodle? There's a sign over that says no minors. And, as one of the refs pointed out, there haven't been minors for years.
Oh, right, okay, back on track with the action. We have lead jammer in favor of Netherlands. Upila back on track, wearing the star. Picked up a reasonably easy pass on that lead.
Harakiri jamming for Team Japan and absolutely smoked on the inside by Upila, the Dutch jammer.
Both jammers taking a tumble.
He just looked confused. He wasn't even hurt. He wasn't upset. He's just like, why? But why?
Why would you do that?
Yeah. I seek not to harm you.
Loose pack at the front makes space for number 3, Harakiri, to make his initial pass. Upila just clipped off on the outside there, calls the jam, shutting it down. 2
points only picked up by the Netherlands in that last jam, so not enough to really make a dent in this lead differential. 30 points separating these teams with a minute left to go until halftime. Nerd Roller Skates is your dedicated roller skate shop with everything you need for derby, ring, or park. So you should visit them online at www.nerdskates.com, offering free shipping in Canada on orders over $150. Nerd Roller Skates for people who roll. $150 Canadian, of course, about $6 American.
Back on track right now. We have U2 for Japan picking up lead jammer. Johnny Be Good starting with the star now. We've seen him take a couple of star passes so far today, but he's starting with the start. Made his initial big hit from U2, taking down that blocker.
Yeah, only one defender for the Netherlands, and he tried a bit of a hip thrust there. Just.
Meanwhile, Johnny Be Good on track on the outside. And he is going to be assessed a cut track penalty. U2 calling that jam, presumably hadn't seen Captain Johnny Be Good had picked up that penalty. So this next jam is going to start fresh pair of legs for Japan, and it's going to be a Roller Derby Athletics sponsored power jam.
Yeah, a bit of a late call-up from their new jam, but no points picked up by the Netherlands in that jam. So no harm, no foul, and they get to start with a 30-second Roller Derby Athletics power jam when we come back to the half.
Wow, that's 30 minutes raced past at an alarming speed. Score sitting 83 points to Netherlands, 122 to Japan. Wow. I have no other words.
No,
wow.
I mean, I was excited. We were both excited for this game. and we knew it was going to be a bit of a showcase of both these teams' abilities. But I mean, I don't think I could have guessed half the things we were going to see in this game.
I mean, we've had lead changes. What was that? 8 power jams in 3 jams.
Yeah, in 2, I think. Yeah, it was in 3 jams, and yeah, just absolutely sort of razzle-dazzle, almost slapstick skating style on this track. But you know, this is their chance to shine. Both teams gunning for that win, and both teams within sight of it.
Yeah.
You know,
mean, what's that? Just over
39 points.
39 points.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
That's doable.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And especially with another half to come, we're in for another treat.
Yeah, absolutely. So take a look at the words from our sponsors. Grab a snack, grab a beverage, grab each other, because this is going to be an exciting game when we come back right here live from the Nerd Skates track at Men's Roller Derby World Cup.
Nerd Roller Skates is your dedicated quad roller skate shop in Calgary, Alberta.
Being a nerd is about being really excited and really passionate about a really specific thing. And the thing that we are really excited and passionate about is roller skates.
Nerd Roller Skates.
Official skate shop, Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2016.
For people who roll.
I am your fortress on the front line of sport. Engineered to be stronger than the attack. I defy convention by protecting more with less. Helping you breathe easier, hydrate faster, speak more clearly. I am Sisu, and I fend for you.
Hi, I'm Bob Noxious, and welcome back to the Sisu Studios here at the Men's Roller Derby World Cup. We've got a couple of updates for you. On track 1, if you've been watching, you have seen Japan take a lead of 122 to 83 over the Netherlands. The Netherlands making a nice push towards the end of this half to close up, which was a bit of a larger gap than that. This is going to be a very, very close game. To update you on what's going on track 2, with 9 minutes remaining, Chile at 53, Spain 39. And that's what's going on here at the Men's Roller Derby World Cup. Stay tuned. We'll be back for the second half on track 1 momentarily. Thank you.
Eins, zwei, drei! Schön.
Stories are done with it seems missing moments of glory have it done. And they don't seem to come back. What had happened to punk or rock or rap? Running loud on the story of happening. Meaning if there's no almost a shame for the damn between. You gotta put your soul in every song, in every line, in every note. Coming from Mexico, it's right up to your ears. Bringing back what's lost, you should have never left here. The essence, the sound, the thought, the culture. The country don't censor, comes up with a structure. The one down next, you move your head them down. Position, the blow, the guy, the fight back, the defender. The boys are the resistance. We're taking back what we want to war. We're coming back. Don't get too close, understand it's a trap. It's a trap. You'll never know till you feel our attack. Our attack. Don't get too close, understand it's a trap. It's a trap. You'll never know till you feel our attack. Our attack. Don't get too close, understand it's a trap. It's a trap. You'll never know till you feel our attack. Our attack. Here we go again, the loud noise you can't stop hearing. Combination of loud music and strong lyrics. Which is living in your head, man, your mouth repeat it. Yeah, your mouth repeat it. Yeah, your mouth repeat it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in tune. 5 guys, 5 lines, the same roots. Won't change mind, make you move. You'll never know what's coming. Here we're next to you. Don't get too close, understand it's a trap. It's a trap. You'll never know till you feel our attack.
And welcome back to Game 47 of the Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2016. My name is Pigs Lemonade. This is Snuggins, the fearless Snuggins. And halftime report, quickly before we go back to the track. Netherlands lead jammer 8 times, Japan 10 times. Team, okay, 57 total penalties in that first half. 30 for the Netherlands, 27 for Team Japan. 7 and 7 power jams for both teams. A lot of power jams in that first half. Our lead scorers for the Netherlands: number 30, Lone Star, number 28, U Piler, and number 26, or sorry, 30 points, Lone Star, 28, U Piler, and 26 points with Nicholas Rage. Kabuki Kimono with 51 points, U2 with 31, Harakiri with 25. With all those 57 penalties, we have a lot of people in trouble.
Indeed we do.
Especially Johnny B. Rude, he's on 6, Nicholas Rage, third highest scoring jammer on 6, Captain Borderline on 5 for Team Netherlands. Team Japan, Chuck Breaker and Honey Badger each with 4.
So we are going to start back on this second half. If you will recall, Netherlands have a jammer in the box. So that's going to be number 1, U2 for Japan, starting on this Roller Derby Athletics sponsored Power Jam.
Pack advantage to Team Japan, laying in wait at first and sort of creeping up on the Netherlands defense. U2 slugging it out of the front of the pack with one more blocker to Best, gets lead but ends up out of bounds. He goes all the way
So he's going to make his way through those blockers again, getting super low on that outside line. He succeeds, of course, still his initial taken off setback, but it's very more impressive work from the Netherlands doing that power jam breakdown.
Yeah, Team Japan set up for defense as Johnny B. Rude returns from the penalty box. They've got a sort of a braced triangle on the inside of turn 2. Meanwhile, U2 completes a 5-point grand slam.
Johnny B. Good taking a hit on the outside there from number 9, Honey Badger. Sets him back round nearly all the way to turn 2. Lots of sort of spread packs, trying to kind of break things up.
Yeah, Netherlands and Japan sort of jockeying for position in the front there. But the Netherlands comes out of this jam, as they have so many as we led into halftime, scoreless. 130 to 83 right now, your score. 28.5 minutes left in this contest. The Power of Grayskull Bespoke Handmade Sportswear, proud sponsors of Team Wales Roller Derby. Every item is designed and made in their studio in the UK. Want your pets on legs? They can totally do that. The Power of Grayskull, making your legs happy.
Back on track with the action, we have number 2, Kabuki Mono jamming for Japan. And I do believe that's number 57, Upila for the Netherlands. Kabuki Mono, your foremost jammer.
Upila narrowly avoiding a cut once, twice. Recycled to the back by Umesan. Lead jammer status to Kabuki Mono of Team Japan.
Number 43, Halogen, being assessed with an out-of-play block for the Netherlands, meaning there's only 3 blockers to try and slow down Kabuki Mono, which they're unsuccessful at doing. He's through on a Grand Slam pass.
Another big recycle from Team Japan. This time Mayuge board and dive, bringing Upila all the way back past the jammer line. He has not gotten past turn 1.
Upila just going for an apex jump, not landing it, and ending up between the legs and underneath the kilts of his teammate Mastermind.
Yeah, an incredibly slow pack compared to what we've seen so far in this game. Now just pressing turn 2, we have a star pass for Team Netherlands to 31-41. That's Mastermind.
However, Kabuki Mono coming through the pack, picking up his full complement of 4 points and calling off the jam.
Sisu mouthguards. If you've not yet discovered the awesomeness that is Sisu, you must invest in one. These ultra-thin, super strong mouthguards allow you to talk, breathe, and drink, and they look great in photos. Get yours at the Nerd Roller Skates booth. Sorry, speaking of Nerds Roller Skates, your Nerd Roller Skates start line populated right now by Harakiri and Anita.
We're going to start this with a pack advantage to Japan. 4 blockers plays 3, but that 4th Netherlands blocker making his way on track as Japan pick up lead jammer status.
Harakiri challenging that link and busting through the arms of the Dutch defenders. Number 29, I think that's Bubble. A big hit to the outside and a bit of a pile up here on turn 2.
Anita jamming for the Netherlands. Took a little hit on the outside, resets himself back as Harakiri takes an apex jump for a natural Grand Slam.
Again, with the pack not making a lot of headway around the track, which is great for Kabuki Mono. See, just picking up those points. A stash and a initial pass completed by the Dutch jammer.
Harakiri seeing Anita coming round for his first scoring pass. Pulled off the jam.
Another 2 points picked up for a 7-point jam for Japan, 152 to 83. Netherlands yet to score in the second half.
Lone Star and U2 on the jammer line, looking at those walls.
It's a late lineup change as the Netherlands had fielded one too many skaters.
Yeah, they do have a blocker in the penalty box. So once again, starting with a pack advantage for Japan. Umesan up to jam this time. Unsuccessful in getting around the shoulders and hips of Mastermind. So that's Lone Star is your lead jammer for the Netherlands. First lead jammer status for them in the second half.
U2 hot on his heels, coming around turn 1. It looks like a slow call off. Sorry, that was Umesan with the star. Nope. U2 with the star, challenging that Dutch jammer. We have first points on the board for the Netherlands in the second half, 3 for Japan's 2.
Upila taking the jammer line up against Kabuki Mono. Seeing a slight change for the last couple of jams, a 4-3 pack advantage to the Netherlands now. Japan with only 3 blockers.
A bit of wild footwork here from Kabuki Mono. He ends up on the ground, but Upila's recycled to the back of the apex. Lead is still up for grabs.
penalty issued to Netherlands pivot, so he'll make his way to the penalty box. That's number 666.
Hop, skip, and a jump Ned's lead. Shammer status for Kabuki Mono and Team Japan, and Yupala just throwing himself into this pack. You can really see where this pile-up name is coming from.
Not so much as a hit there as just a shutdown from Nicholas Rage. Hips in the right place at the right time to take Kabuki Mono off track.
And Nicholas Rage taking his 7th penalty waved back onto the track due to a full box, but I think that's the last time we're going to see Nicholas Rage on the track. 7 penalties. They fielded him as a blocker, trying to save him. It didn't work out, so not only is the Netherlands going to start the next game with a full box, but without Nicholas Rage. We're going to throw to commercial for just 1 second.
S1. 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 S1 is part of my uniform.
A clear path through the pack almost never exists. So we fight and make our own.
And we are back. 23 minutes and 3 seconds remaining of game 47 here on day 3 of the Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2016. We have had a team timeout, and we are in the process of finalizing some foul outs. Nicholas Rage in the previous jam picking up his 7th penalty. So we're moving from that team timeout into an official timeout, just making sure that all of our T's are crossed and our I's are dotted.
Yeah, you saw as we came back from commercial in the green helmet, Nicholas Rage just sort of ambling around the track, doing some circles, doing some figure eights. He knows what's coming, and he gives the crowd a bit of a clap as he just crosses your screen, skates off to gear down. 23 minutes left, and they're going to have to do it without Nicholas Rage, which is not going to help them come back from this deficit. They're really going to have to dig deep to catch up with Team Japan.
Timeout done and dusted, and we've got number 3 Harikiri and number 96 Anita, 2 similarly statured jammers. We've seen some interesting styles from both of them, and let's see what they can provide for us right here.
Slapsack is the lone defender, and now he's lost his jammer to a blocking with the head penalty. Lead jammer going to Team Japan. And Slapsack looks very disoriented. He's also heading to the box himself. This is going to be a red letter jam for Team Japan.
Yep, Anita looking to go for that jammer takeoff straight off the line. Got just a little bit too low and ended up with the blocking with the head call.
A beautiful sweep from the inside by Team Japan. Absolutely perfect coordination there. Not that 2 blockers is going to make a ton of difference, but it sure didn't hurt.
Harikiri bagging 10 points in that jam, calling it off, putting on a fresh set of legs. Looked like he didn't call it quite as quickly as maybe we would have hoped. Anita had been released from the penalty box at that time, so we're going to have both jammers starting on that Nerd Skate Track sponsored jam line.
Yeah, that call-off coming a little sooner than it maybe needed to. Who knows, perhaps they're saving their strength for playing the winner of the Chile-Spain game tomorrow at 9 a.m.
A cacophony of whistles in and around our ears. Yupala picking up a cut track penalty, meaning that Japan have got themselves yet another power jam. Big takeoff on the inside.
U2 sort of sharking to the out of turn 2. A big pile up there, a forearm penalty being signaled.
Big signal to U2.
There we go. So a bit of confusion there, and they're going to switch up places, which means we have a roller derby athletics power jam for Team Netherlands.
Yupala back on track. Looks like he's gone for that star stash. Big hits take him off on the straightaway while his blockers try and go in and disperse the Japanese pack.
U2 return to gameplay. Slapsack was looking to play some sort of aggressive offense here. U2 able to spread that pack out to the front and shake off that hit.
Penalty being issued.
An illegal procedure, looks like.
That's number 4, Miyagi Bondai, heading to the penalty box for that illegal procedure. With both of our jammers having spent some time in the box, we've got no lead, so this will run for the full 2 minutes, with which we've got another 25 seconds.
Very effective, sort of conservative hit here from Honey Badger against Lone Star.
U2 being assessed the penalty. It is a blocking with the head penalty, so he's going to go and have a sit down, which means U-Pilot and the Netherlands now on another Roller Derby Athletic sponsored Power Jam. U-Pilot taken off on turn 2.
Their second of this jam. As we see it come to a close, it's going to be a Power Jam start for Team Netherlands.
U-Pilot managing to put the full 5 points on the board just at the end of that jam. Now bringing the Netherlands ever so close to that 100-point mark. Just over 19.5 minutes remaining, 91 points to the Netherlands. Japan still far out in the lead with 174.
The 2016 Men's Roller Derby World Cup is sanctioned and insured by Roller Sports Canada, providing insurance and support for all Canadian roller sports. Visit them at www.rollersports.ca or on Facebook, RSC Roller Derby.
So on track, we have Anita donning the star to start this Roller Derby Athletics sponsored Power Jam for the Netherlands.
And Japan, like the many-headed Hydra, just waterfalling in front of Anita, not wanting to let him out the front of that pack. A blocking out of bounds penalty to the jammer from blocker from Team Japan. They've only got 3 left to hold Anita back, and he cinches lead jammer status for the Netherlands.
Kudos to Team Japan, though, managing to hold Anita back for that full 30 seconds, capitalizing on, or rather shutting down that Power Jam. However, Anita not really noticing, slipping straight through that pack for a 4-point pass.
U2 finally completing his initial pass, coming up on the pack yet again, full speed, and will that be a point or 2 for Team Japan? One of the Netherlands skaters hanging around the back of the pack. Nope. It's a 0 pass, so 4-0 Netherlands at the end of that jam.
Netherlands starting to chip away at that lead, doing the old hit it and quit it, managing to pick up a couple of points here and there.
I mean, if they keep up with those apex jumps, it's not insurmountable point differential with 18 minutes left to go. Especially when you have a situation like this. Team Japan only 2 defenders, Team Netherlands only 2 defenders, and an attempted star pass off the line is going to be completed.
A change of changing things up for the Netherlands here. Slapsack donning the start for the first time in this game. He has gone for the stash, so no lead jam for him, meaning this jam will run for the full 2 minutes. This could make a real difference to the scores right now.
Change of the guard means Naruto is now your jammer of record for Ninja Pan. Passing on the outside of the curve, picking up his 4 points.
Slapsack coming up to that pack now. Mastermind going in, trying to shut down some of those blockers. Doing so effectively, only 1 to pass, and he does. Slapsack 4 more points on the board for Netherlands.
Naruto attempting an apex jump, which fails. He stands up before leaving the track and earns himself a track cut penalty, which means a Roller Derby Athletics Power Jam in favor of the Netherlands yet again.
We do also have blocker Kabukimono in the penalty box for Japan. We now have a full complement of 4 blockers on track for the Netherlands.
Nice little pop on the inside here by Uma-san from Ninja Pan. It's going to force Slapsack to recycle.
Number 9, Honey Badger, also taking a seat in the penalty box for Japan. So there's only 2 blockers on track for Japan. So that's going to be a much simpler Grand Slam pass for Slapsack. Netherlands now having crested that 100 mark mid-jam here.
And the pivot from the Netherlands with a big sweep of offense, and it's going to be a track cut penalty for Slapsack, just not able to slow himself down in that curve. That's as Naruto rejoins the action.
An out-of-play block being issued to the Netherlands pivot as he tried to chase down Naruto and prevent him from making that initial pass.
Team Japan lined up on the inside of turn 1, ready to do that offense, but the jam reaches its natural conclusion with a 9-9 draw here between Japan and the Netherlands, but the Japan team still sitting pretty, 183 to 104, 15 and a half minutes left. Speaking of sitting pretty, a lot of the Team Japan skaters sitting down in anticipation of their team timeout. Of course, this team timeout brought to you by Quad Skates is going to mean we're going to throw to our sponsors.
We're going to be testing 3 helmets today. This simulates a 10-mile-an-hour impact or a 4-foot drop. The S1 Lifer helmet with EPS Fusion foam did pass the multiple impact test.
And we are back with you. Quick recap, 108 to the Netherlands, 183 to Japan. Japan currently using their second team timeout of this game. Penalty box just partially filled by Netherlands skaters. 1 Netherlands blocker and their jammer, which means it's going to be a Roller Derby Athletics sponsored Power Jam start for Team Japan.
Yeah, the Netherlands probably going to take good advantage of this timeout themselves. A lot of disorganization on both sides in these last few jams. A lot of jammer penalty change-ups, a lot of spread out packs. You know, we've seen a lot of what these teams have learned so far this weekend in this game, but it sort of never fails at the 3-quarter mark. People tend to lose their cool a little bit.
Yeah, that last jam in particular was quite frantic.
Yep.
So good opportunity for both teams to just take a moment, take a breath, and get straight back into it, as we are.
Pork Chop Express cinching that lead jammer status for Team Japan. Only his second time with the start for the black. Captain Borderline and Anita recycled to the back as they are just drowning in this power kill. Meanwhile, Slapsack returns to action with star in hand. 5-point pickup by Team Japan as Slapsack just motors his way through the pack.
Pork Chop coming up to that wall. Big hit going through those blockers. Calls the jam from his knees.
We're seeing more and more physicality from Team Japan as the weekend progresses, and that's a great example of it right there. Just no fear.
It's like children skating. No fear.
And that's my favorite part about juniors is you tell Fresh Meat, I wanted you to jump over this pool noodle. Sorry about that technical difficulty here.
Gremlins in the system.
We were just comparing. You tell a Fresh Meat to jump over a pool noodle, they look at you like you're crazy. You tell an 8-year-old to jump over a pool noodle, they say, how high?
Yeah.
And that's sort of been Team Japan's mantra is how high?
Yeah.
You know, rising to every challenge.
Team Japan don't have the fear.
No. No.
They are fear deficient.
Yes.
And that's definitely not a bad
thing
in this sport.
They are ninjas. They are Ninja Japan. They are going to sneak up on you. They are going to defy your expectations.
And they're going to take your points. Okay, timeout done and dusted, and we are getting back to it here. If you recall, this is going to be a Roller Derby Athletics sponsored Power Jam. Number 2, Kabuki Mono, my apologies, up to jam for Japan. Clearing that inside line for him. He has penalty being issued to number 8,
Ooh.
Naruto.
A really punishing hit against Kabuki Mono on the outside of turn 1. He'd almost raced up the straightaway and gone. You know, 3rd time's a charm. Lead jammer status for Kabuki Mono as he rushes the inside line there.
Meanwhile, Slapsack standing in the penalty box and on his way out.
Kabuki Mono shaving off speed as he approaches the Dutch defense and brought to the inside and down. Meanwhile, Slapsack just using his sort of trademark brutality here as he passes on the outside of turn 3.
Some brilliant footwork, and I mean, Slapsack is not a small guy.
No.
And that footwork, reminiscent for me of a skater in the UK, skates with the Welsh team, South Wales Salyos, Mr. Stabby. He is not a small guy, and he is incredibly light on his feet as well, and that's just had a flash in my mind of that. I'm always wonderfully amazed when I see like skaters of a bigger stature, really with that beautiful, delicate footwork.
Yes. It's so much more weight and momentum and energy to control. You know, you expect it from sort of a leaner skater. And when you see someone who's so strong and yet so focused, it's really something to behold.
It is indeed a sight to behold. Just as we are having sights to be held right now, penalties flying thick and fast in the start of this jam. However, Harikira being given issued lead jammer.
Yeah, he's a sight to behold, but he's not going to be held by the Dutch defense as he swings around the front, picks up a 5-point grand slam.
Meanwhile, Upala going for the Star Stash to make his initial through that depleted pack.
And we saw just off screen in the last jam, Japan on their feet yelling for that call off. Luckily, oh no, unluckily, it has also come late in this jam. A 4-point sneaky pickup by Upala, 9-4 jam for Japan.
And that last jam with that 9-point score for Japan sees them breaking the 200 mark. This is massive news for Japan. 205 to 112. Just under 12 minutes remaining of this game, and seriously, like I should imagine that there is a whole lot of noise coming from the homes of these Japanese fans right now.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what time it is here in Japan, but you better believe they're tuned into this game.
Indeedy do, and so they would like to be. Number 1, U2 picking up lead jammer over number 96, Anita, but Anita is chasing him down with a ferocious speed.
Now, talk about old school. That's an exciting race to the pack there. 3 points picked up by the Netherlands, 4 points picked up by Team Japan.
An illegal procedure being dealt to a blocker there. Didn't catch who it was, but that was, I believe that was for the contact after the whistle.
Yep.
Especially when you're moving at that kind of speed, sometimes it's difficult to stop.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were speaking about the 209-point game for Team Japan so far. Easily double, triple, perhaps quadruple. The game's not over yet. Any points picked up in any previous game in the group stage.
Incredible. Running along that inside line, Kabuki Mono picking up lead over Upala. This is a scenario we've seen a number of times so far this game.
Absolutely breathtaking speed from Kabuki Mono. Already completed a scoring pass now. He's chasing Upala out of the pack.
Upala again with the Star Stash. Seems to be working in his favor, just can't get out and get that lead.
We're going to see a replay here now. And here we see Kabuki Mono just sandwiched here by the Netherlands blockers. Again, Japan playing a very physical game, really throwing themselves at the defense. Anita going up against Harakiri on your Nerd Skate start line. 3-on-3 pack. It's going to be Anita from the Netherlands coming out on top.
Saw that foot dip out. Anita picking up the cut track penalty, but being followed to the box by Harakiri with a cut track penalty of his own. So we're going to have a quick jammer switcheroo.
Let's be a little of a jinx here, back and forth. We're going to have a 2-minute jam now. Very fast pack as Anita approaches, and it looked like a push from the Netherlands to the out. Nice focused hit for Bubble.
Huge hit. Marikira with a nice big hit on his own to 1-3-3-7 slapsack as he made his way through the pack. Anita just taken off on the outside, but he's going to get called for his skating out of bounds, and he will go and have a sit down.
So, seems like he wasn't taken out so much as he took himself out, especially according to the ref. A slapsack playing the part of the GOAT here, alone on the track, as Harakiri approaches and picks up a 5-point grand slam. Japan with the sort of a cube formation in the front. The Netherlands blockers returning to gameplay, but not able to slow Harakiri down. He picks up his 15th point of the jam so far, and we've got 35 seconds left to go.
Anita standing in the penalty box, star in hand, no doubt looking to to slip unseen into the pack.
3 times in a row, just with that run on the inside of the curve. I don't know if the pack moved. His footprints might have been there from the last time that he just skipped through. And now with the apex jump and the arms in the air, the crowd is just dazzled right now.
And Harakira going to have a little bit of an easier time in this jam. Anita headed back to the penalty box for another cutting penalty, but only 3 blockers are going to finish that jam. Number 43, Halogen, has fouled out.
All right, back to the replay as we see Slapsack approaching with the offense, spins around to join his teammates in the front, and here comes Harakiri just over those legs.
But we are now in a team timeout called by the Netherlands. So we are going to head over for a word from our sponsors, Quad Skate Shop.
S1.
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 S1. S1 is part of my uniform.
A clear path through the pack almost never exists. So we fight and make our own.
And we are back. 7 minutes and 41 seconds remaining.
So
whoa.
As we finished that jam, there was just over 7.5 minutes left in the period clock, but you would think from the crowd in Japan's bench that that was the end of the game, because it feels like the end of the game for them. A 30-point pickup for Team Japan, rivaling some of their total scores from the group stage. We've got another team timeout, so let us just tell you one more thing from our sponsors. So looking at Team Japan's scores from the group stage, against Ireland on Thursday, 56 points. Against the USA Thursday evening, 0 points. Against Finland Friday at noon, they scored 47 points. And against Scotland Friday evening, they scored 40 points. And here they have 244 points. So I can imagine this is a huge boost for the Japanese roster, being able to play a game similar to probably they've been playing at home. You know, no shutouts, no dying for a point, for 2 points. Really being able to show their stuff.
Over 100 points from what they've scored total, 143 points up to this point, up to this game. And there we go with another lead jam status being issued to number 1, U2.
Japan just lined up on the inside of turn 2, just sending Umesan for the offense. U2 on his own now, and Japan decides just to play passive, sending 1-0. Umesan's shaking off number 747, Captain Borderline. It's going to be a forearm penalty for that. Yep. And a roller derby athletics power jam for Team Netherlands.
U2 headed to the box. Anita now out of that penalty box, and he is going to try and capitalize and reduce that deficit.
Backwards blocking, number 4 looking for the whistle. Looks like that's going to be let go by the referees, but some real aggression here.
The Netherlands will going in there trying to break up the Japanese defense. Now leaving it for the passive offense.
Really nice recovery here for number 4, Mayuki Born Dai. Just an absolute stellar pivot. We've seen him in some of the previous games taking a lot of star passes because Japan was so gassed, so outranked, and here he's really shining as a blocker.
U2 back on track, going for the apex jump, doesn't land it for a massive block from Mastermind. Meanwhile, Anita is laying on more points, 14 points already scored in this jam alone. couple of seconds remaining, and he gets his hips around that wall. Made that almost look easy.
Yeah, those back-to-back team timeouts have clearly worked out in the Team Netherlands' favor, putting points on the board for the first time in several jams, 18-9 at the conclusion of that, and everyone who's wearing orange in the crowd is they approve.
Yeah. I am agreeing with that jam. I'm a fan of that jam.
I'll allow it.
I like that jam's policies.
Yeah. Yeah.
That jam for president.
4 more points. Pork Chop Express facing up against UPiler on your Nerdskate start line. Only 2 Dutch blockers to defend. And Pork Chop Express, a lot of muscle behind his jamming. He chooses just to push up the center, and it works out well. Lead jammer sent us to Japan.
Yeah, Slapsack trying to tenderize that muscle. Unsuccessful. Meanwhile, UPiler has made his initial pass. Again with that start slash, proving very successful for him, but always when Japan do have that lead and they are in control.
I mean, there's really no advantage to it being on your head if you're not the lead jammer in the initial pass. We have seen a few situations where people are too eager to take it off.
Yeah.
There's a no pass, no penalty. There's a penalty they didn't hear. But honestly, it's a good policy most of the time. You're always ready for the pass, and you know, who knows, maybe they'll forget you.
Anita going old school again. Pivot strike on, toe stop on the line.
No one's going to forget Harakiri, though. Number 3, your lead jammer for Japan. Swiveling the momentum, and a penalty to the Dutch jammer. A track cut penalty is going to send Captain Borderline to the penalty box of Roller Derby Athletics Power Jam for Japan.
Harakiri already through on his first scoring pass. Another 5 in the sky. We've got a static pack as Harakiri makes his way backward. Dropping so low that he actually slipped off his skates.
Shoot the duck, Ninja Pan. All smiles from the Japan crowd. Captain Borderline looking pretty frustrated in that penalty box. The Netherlands might have had a run for it,
I can tell you why he's looking frustrated. Captain Borderline has fouled out. That'll be a 7th penalty. I do believe he'd completed his time.
So he's gone over the borderline, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, he is the captain of that borderline.
The borderline is a dot to him. He hadn't completed the time. He was up to standing by the point that jam ended. So UPiler donning the star is going to finish up that penalty for him.
You two on your Nerdskate start line for the beginning of this 30-second Roller Derby Athletics Power Jam. Lead jammer to Japan, they're 14th in this half to the Netherlands 3.
Wow.
Oh, beautiful balance here from, and it.
I did wonder, you two heading to the penalty box, having incurred a back block penalty, my apologies. UPiler, so on track, looking for that stash. Of course, lead is closed. This will be a full 2 minutes. So he's taken off, set back, and he's trying to make his way around that Japanese wall.
The Netherlands coming in quite slowly. It almost seems that they don't really know the best plan of action or what their jammer wants. It's just sort of leaping over the Japanese defense, taking a real slow slog of it.
Low block being assessed to, I believe, that's number 6. Number 6, Chuck Breaker.
And UPiler is going to be heading to the box in a track cut penalty, which means a Roller Derby Athletic Power Jam for U2 and Ninja Pan. Only 2 blockers on the team for that offensive help, but 2 is all he needs. Oh, I spoke too soon.
Good defense from Netherlands there on the inside line. Just getting that shoulder in to take him off. But he recovers quickly, makes it through on the inside for another 5-point pass.
And Nocturnal Damage able to recycle him, sort of slow that bleed on this power kill scenario. U2 just getting sandwiched at the front here, able to take advantage of that tumble, pick up another 5-point Grand Slam.
Dutch blockers holding back there, deciding to go for passive offense. Jam reaching its natural conclusion and a cut track penalty being assessed to Upila in the dying seconds of that jam. And it looks like we're going to go to an official review.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that the Dutch bench is looking to challenge that jammer penalty for Upila. So that means we can throw it to our sponsor, Bruce Skate Noose. Bruce Skate Noose, the original over-the-shoulder roller skate holder. You spend a lot of money on those skates. Don't shove them in a bag full of sweaty gears. Your skates hate that. Keep your skates aired out and show them off with Bruce Skate Noose. Find them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or online at bruisedsn.com. And you were saying leading into this game, 143 points total scored by Japan so far in this tournament, and they have now almost, they've just doubled it.
Yeah.
286 is double that, so 287. They are really getting their money's worth out of that game. The Netherlands also.
And it looks like we are going to pass over to potentially our head ref for this game. It was mistaken earlier. It's Mistrial heading up the crew for this one. And we will pass over to that now to find out the results.
The orange team is contesting the cut track call on the orange jammer.
So yeah, that's as you presumed. Netherlands querying that cut track penalty in the dying seconds of that jam to Upila. So our referees, as you can see there, huddled, discussing this.
Coming into this contest, the Netherlands also had a rough weekend. I think about an 86-point weekend total. So while not quite doubling that, they've definitely scored far more points in this game than any other game they've played so far. They did 3 against Australia, 5 against France, 48 against Puerto Rico, and 30 against Belgium. The blue group, a very challenging group this weekend. A lot of tough contests. So.
And we're going to hand over back to this
Cut track
round.
call stands. They've used their official review.
Okay, so it's been maintained that that cut track call will stand. Netherlands have used their official review. 45 seconds remaining on our period clock here. So this will almost certainly be our final jam.
I think everyone's rooting for the Netherlands to have a good show-stopping finish, because in the last 8 jams, Japan has been 78-18. It's been a real runaway. So although we're starting with the roller derby athletics power jam in favor of Japan, I think everyone for Team Netherlands is holding their breath to see just how many points they can put on the board.
In all honesty, I think considering that their wonderful nature, I think Japan are probably rooting for Netherlands in this jam as well.
I would say absolutely, probably the classiest team at this event. Number 2, that's Kabukimono, your lead jammer of record, picking up a 5-point grand slam.
I'm just going to say, just out of view from the camera, I've just seen Upila basically speed from the penalty box. It looked like he was a bullet from a gun, really racing along the outside to make his way back on track. So much so that as he hit turn 3, took a little knock and skidded straight out of bounds.
Yeah, it's a brand new jam. It's a clean slate for the Netherlands right now. They're not going to win this game. They could win the jam. Kabukimono with a push from his pivot as he enters the pack and picks up another 5-point grand slam.
And
Japan.
Right there, we see Japan breaking the triple century. Folks, we're having history made right here, right now.
Team Japan was present at the last Men's Roller Derby World Cup. Oh, I'm going to stop and just say that track cut penalty has been assessed to Kabukimono. It's going to send him to the penalty box. We're going to have a roller derby athletics power jam for the Netherlands. 26 seconds remaining.
We have had a star pass. Anita now donning the star is going to complete this jam for the Netherlands, going to complete this game for the Netherlands. And I do not doubt that there is a whole heap of noise coming from Birmingham, England right now. 10 seconds left on the clock. Can Anita bag some points for the Netherlands right now?
A lot of fire, a lot of aggression out of Anita. 5 points picked up by the Netherlands in this jam. The Dutch fans are happy. The Japanese fans are elated. And we're just going to look to the center of your screen there. A giant group hug here from Team Japan. They were here in 2014. They came in as the underdog. They're the only Asian team represented at this event. and they were the underdog all through the group stage. And in this game, 304 to 138, they're the big dog right here.
They are the chow.
Yeah, and these guys, like we said, they practice together at home. They all know each other. They're all brothers on this team, and I can't imagine sort of the celebrations that we're going to see going on following this game.
I can't imagine the celebrations we're going to see in Japan.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that there's a lot of people not sleeping right now. Won't be sleeping for this foreseeable. Anybody that knows me and knows me well will know that I'm a bit of an emotional person, and seeing that final moment where they all came together, just got really dusty in here.
No, exactly. There's something in my eye.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
But this is a beautiful thing, and an absolute class from the Netherlands. Absolute respect to those Japanese players forming that beautiful little bridge for them to go through. Halfway around the track, nothing but love right here.
The Netherlands still have a chance to pick up a win as they move on to their next game. But Team Japan, just a really beautiful amount of development, not just from the 2014 World Cup, but even from Thursday, from Friday. Yeah. And everyone's been following them and watching them, and you've been watching here at home, and we couldn't be happier here at the Arcadia Recreation Complex. Coming up right here on the Nerdskate track at 5 p.m. Calgary time, it's going to be England versus, sorry. Coming up at 3 p.m., I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry, I'm so excited. Coming up at 3 p.m. is going to be Scotland versus Belgium right here on the Nerdskates track. We are just finishing up Chile versus Spain on the Sisu track, and that's going to be followed up at 3:15 with Sweden, Mexico. I have been Pink Lemonade.
I have been Snoogans, and that's been Derby Nerd. Thank you so much, folks. We'll see you back here for this next game between Belgium and Scotland.
Okay, welcome back to the Sisu studio, live from the Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2016. My name's Panda. I'm going to give you an update on the scores over on track 2. Team Chile playing Team Spain. Chile currently in the lead with 171 points, but Spain on 109. We are just under 8 minutes to go in that second period. So at this point, it looks like Chile potentially taking the lead, but Spain putting up an awfully good fight. Here on track 1, as you've just seen, if you're still tuned in, Team Japan taking a huge win, 304 points to the Netherlands, 138. A great fight from both of these teams. The first win on the board for Team Japan, unfortunately not on the board for Team Netherlands, and that is a 166-point differential. We're hoping that we can bring you an interview with some of the Japan skaters. Bob Noxious is off out in the crowd now trying to grab some people, but I'm sure they're going to be quite busy celebrating right now. So I think what we're going to do is we can roll some ads, and then we'll come back with an interview with some of the skaters following that.
Being a nerd is about being really excited and really passionate about a really specific thing. And the thing that we are really excited and passionate about is roller skates.
Nerd Roller Skates.
Official skate shop, Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2016.
For people who roll.
I am your fortress on the front line of sport. Engineered to be stronger than the attack. I defy convention by protecting more with less. Helping you breathe easier, hydrate faster, speak more clearly. I am Sisu, and I fend for you.
We really miss the feeling of spontaneously visiting a store and trying out the newest gear. A hangout for all roller skaters. Everyone has their own unique style. Because of our large assortment, we can now personalise roller skates while you wait, so you can try them out right away. Our mission is to fit you with the right gear, and don't forget to turn left.
Hip, whip, don't grip, slap the pack. If you block the flock, then I can jam the track. Quads on the floor, stars on the head. Roller derby lock, what the zebra said. Yeah, we rollin', yeah, we rapping for real. Can't feel the back wheels underneath my heels. Up through my spine, penetrating the heart. Calling up the jam till the next jam starts.